Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
2020 budget. Received an email from Debbie Camerata and Nancy Moore regarding the East Westfield Cemetery. You may recall that they were going to sell some bricks, memorial bricks, and then they were going to install them and have 2 benches. Well, they've sold the bricks, and they decided that they would have go out with just 1 bench rather than 2. And Jack Daly is the gentleman who installed the VA markers there, and he's going to be installing the bench and the memorial bricks, hopefully this fall season. The Hadlock Dam Emergency Plan Review will take place on October 29th here at the Town Hall at 6 o'clock. And if there are any employees of the town who would like to request a 3-hour paid leave so they can vote, you need to do so by submitting a letter 2 days in advance, 2 working days in advance of the election to me, if you would please. Last month at the meeting, we heard about a noise complaint on Hadlock, and I wanted to just comment on what I heard. You may recall that the concern was about noise and also about septic. The town of Queensbury has been wrestling with this issue for quite some time now. I spoke to the supervisor of Queensbury this afternoon. Earlier we were at a board meeting, and he told me that they have at least another 1 meeting, if not a couple of meetings, before they'll finalize everything. Then they'll have their public hearing, and then they'll finally vote on it and make a decision if they're going to enact some sort of law in place to take care of short-term rentals. It reminds me of when we received the complaint about the noise at the Hadlock Inn. I was, Gretchen, I think you gave me that letter in March or April of 2016 when I first became the town supervisor. And the letter had been given to Mrs. Loomis in November. And what I did is I contacted Kathy Mateer, the owner of the Hadlock Inn, and we got all these people together who were involved in this matter. Those people who were complaining and the person they were complaining about, and we were able to talk through it, and we were able to, I think, take care of the problem, because since then, we've never received another complaint. I know for a period of time, I visited the Hadlock Inn at different times just to see what the noise level was like, and I was pleased that it ended up being taken care of by the people who made the complaint and the person that they were complaining about. The issue that was discussed last month, though, the one person has concerns that their house on both sides that abut their property has short-term rentals, and there's supposedly an abundance of people that are staying there. And the concern that, the noise concern is one concern, but the septic issue is another concern, to say the least. And I think what we need to do is really give some thought to how we're going to address this. If we're going to address it though, you have to understand, it can't be just a Hadlock. It's got to be for the, short-term rentals, wherever the short-term rentals take place. If it's on Nebo or the Pilot Knob or on Copel Pond Road, wherever they are, we have to take that into consideration. I think that it warrants some thought, and what I'd like to do is I'd like to keep following this Queensbury situation. I've been sending you the articles as we see them in the Post-Star, and John told me that as soon as he has their resolution put together, he'll forward me a copy of it, and I'll share it with the board, and at that time we'll decide what to do going forward, okay? But I don't want this just to fall by the wayside, because I think it does warrant some attention at this point in time. Alrighty. Next is the opportunity to hear from the town board members. Betty?
Other,
Okay. Gretchen?
on October 24th, Sam and I are going to attend a luncheon dealing with, in Greenwich. It's for supervisors and mayors in Washington and Saratoga County, dealing with the bike trail. And each supervisor is going to have a chance to talk about what's happening in their town and talk with one another and see how we can help each other. I think it's gonna be very productive, and I'm glad Sam is going. The Fort Ann Whitehall group, well, we've got a committee, again, with the bike trail, and we're getting together and trying to come up with some alternate routes and places to go so that bikers or walkers or anybody can visit the different places before the trail is complete. So that's going to be interesting to see in itself. As far as the Office of the Aging, they had a program last week, a luncheon at the Fort Ann Library, which was dealing on Alzheimer's and caregiving. And I've got some information if anybody would like it on what help is out there, and it's absolutely free. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate. I've got tickets, applications for lunch tickets for different restaurants in the area. The tickets would cost $4 for people over 60 years old. And let's see, the truck stop has been added as a place to get a lunch. So that's kind of neat right here in Fort Ann. And there are some other restaurants available that will be posted on the, or maybe they are posted on the bulletin board. So it's kind of a neat deal. The next luncheon at the Fort Ann Library is going to be November 12th, dealing with Young Living Essential Oils at noon, and the cost for, there'll be lunch, and the cost is $3 per person for anybody over 60. There's also going to be a program on fall prevention, meaning falling over, tripping prevention. So that should be interesting as well. Christmas in the Country is coming up in the Fort Ann area, Friday, December 6th, Saturday, the 7th, and Sunday, the 8th. I've got pamphlets here, and there are some pamphlets out at the sign-in area with maps on where you can go to get neat gifts, and it's a lot of fun. A lot of people go. As of tonight, the fishing derby is on the calendar for, we hope, the second week in January, but that's just tentative on Hadlock. So that's in the works. I think that's it for me.
Okay, thank you. Sam?
As Gretchen had indicated, we will be attending the Supervisors and Mayors Biennial Trails Partnership meeting. And some of the things, it's a short agenda because there's only a couple hours involved, but it talks about Bicycles Bring Business and the Champlain Canal Trail 2019 Action Plan. So we should be getting some good information out of there, because there are many bicycle businesses and many other small businesses that can spin off from the bicycle traffic and travel as they come through a township. And I think that one of the other things that's going to be nice is when we get the Battle Hill project finished, I'll give them some place to go as a destination where people can ride their bikes up here and actually walk and have a destination and a reason to come to Fort Ann. And along that note, we are waiting patiently for the news on the grants that we have applied for regarding Battle Hill. And I anticipate those will be coming back in a favorable decision, so. That's all I've got, Mr. Chair, Supervisor.
Denny?
Couple things. September 16th, Sam and I attended a meeting in Granville. The district attorney, Tony Jordan, spoke to us about the new laws that go into effect January 1st of 2020. I don't know what our governor's thinking, but $300 million of unfunded money that's passed out through the state, through every municipality, city, whatever, again, not funded. One of the things that bothered me, I think, the most, and I think I'm speaking for Sam, is the public safety issue. Basically, if you're not a rapist, murderer, arsonist, threaten the government or something like that, you're gonna be able to get out without any bail. And a scary part to me would be Sam and I have a fight, generally speaking. If I was the aggressor, I'd be put in jail and I'd have to wait bail. And if I'm not mistaken, there'd been a restraining order involved. Well, the new laws, that doesn't happen. Bingo, you're out of jail. So it's not a good law, that's only in my estimation, but I think the more people understand it, the better they're gonna get, because again, what he does is, he passes all the expenses down to the towns, villages, and cities throughout the state of New York. That being said, on October 1st, I finally got to sit down and meet with the staff of Senator Little pertaining to the intersection here in Fort Ann. We sat down, we brought up a Google map of the intersection, and I think Keith agreed with me that the simplest way to do it and the least expensive would be to buy back the corner from, her name slips my mind, buy it back from her. There'd have to be a couple things moved. The big light pole would have to be moved, a fire hydrant would have to be moved, and another pole would have to be moved, but it wouldn't cost a lot of money. He agreed to pass that on to Senator Little and promised to keep me informed. I will be calling him probably monthly until we see what's going on. His word to me was he doesn't know if the state had anything in the plans for the intersection, but anybody that goes up and down this corridor knows how bad it is, and in a lot of cases how unsafe it is. God forbid if there's ever anything that goes on that you gotta go mutual aid to Whitehall, Granville, whatever, and sometimes even coming down 149. I think it's just hopefully it's not an accident waiting to happen, but I hope it gets addressed, and I promise you, as long as I'm sitting here, they're gonna hear from me about that intersection. It's horrible, and it needs to be addressed. And that's it. Thank you.
Thanks. I forgot to mention one thing, the Hogtown Road Bridge is open, and I wanted to see it. It was well done, it's very, very well done, and that structure should last for many, many, many years, decades to come, to say the least. Okay, next, Barbara.
I gave the bookkeeper a check for $604.68 for the month of September 1st to September 30th, and I pointed out to Supervisor Moore's attention that one day this week, the state will come in and take out $2,362.82 out of my account. I wish it was the other way around. I wish I was writing a check to the town for $2,300 and the state was only gonna take $604, but.
Everybody wants to pick on the state today.
Yeah, so anyway, and I guess that's about it.
The highway superintendent is not with us this evening. Okay. Mark?
You got my submittal there, and anybody got any questions? always available. You give me a call anytime. Anything that comes up,
Anyone
give
got
me
any
a heads up,
questions?
and
No? Okay, thank you.
thank you.
Okay. Anybody here gonna represent the Historical Society?
No, town historian, right? My turn?
I didn't know you were here. You were so quiet.
You're so tiny, we didn't see you
Well,
behind
he
you.
Behind
moved
me.
from the front, hide me, you don't hear me. Okay, a couple things. I went down and did that history fair in Hartford, there from 9 to 4, was it, George? We were there, okay. And, we sold the trail plan like you wouldn't believe. We had 2 tables, I mean, we cooked everything out. And we actually got some good feedback on it, and I don't know if Sam would wanna keep this in his records, but we got some private funding we can apply for.
Oh, good.
For signage, like, they just gave up 25,000 for a bench or something.
Okay.
We're not gonna make the November 1st one,
Right.
but this could be for next year's signage,
Okay.
so
Yep, very
they're
good,
not
thank
on the
you.
internet, they're very quiet group down here somewhere in Saratoga. Also, I received this, Sam wants, but this one's Battle stuff, is signs, if you wanna buy signs, you know, the cost of signs. It was a good turnout that day, wasn't it, George? So we had good feedback there. I did go down to county building to do research on the cemetery up on Pavilion Way. Unfortunately, got distracted 3 hours there, but they're gonna be changing our vital records in between 10 years' time. Also, they also now have a scan. I got to see results when they were just bringing them in of the cemeteries. They came up and scanned Washington County Poorhouse. And they discovered another cemetery in the back that was unknown. And when they scanned it, they can see, I don't know what the word would be, but there's abnormalities that look like they may be more burials than they have records of. So I'm thinking of ideas of a couple of places. We're not quite sure where our outline of our cemetery is. They volunteered it, so I'm hoping to get the name of them from the county and see if they come up and do something with us. And speaking of one of the cemeteries, East Westfield, I understand that they had a plan of where they were gonna put the benches and the bricks years ago. This was a few years back. Are they sticking with that plan, or do we
Yes.
not know?
This is supposedly sticking to the
Supposed
plan.
to sticking to it, okay, because I don't want it blocking all the work that we had put in there. I don't want them to go anywhere near the veteran stones and the flagpole. So we just keep an eye on what actually happens up there when they do it. I appreciate that. I think that's about it. I did find the owner on record. I'm not sure that's who lives up there, but I'm getting closer. I'm gonna have to do deed research, I think, to figure out why they're there, how they got there. But with the bases there, they gotta be buried there, so they're gonna have to be protected. I think that's all I got. You got anything? Did I miss anything?
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
The dog officer is not here this evening, so next on the agenda, a presentation by Hannah Barber on the results for the Hadlock Pond 2019. Hannah, the floor is yours.
Hello everyone. How's everyone today? I'm gonna come over here. I just have a couple notes, nothing too crazy, because we've all sat through some longer presentations on this end before. I want to start out by saying I think we had a great year this year with the hardships that we were expecting to face, and then what the result was. We cut for 29 days, and within those 29 days, that also included some late collection days. So after we were done cutting, we would go out and do a late collection day and make sure everything was picked up. We got 50,920 pounds. And with all that weight, that was about half of our season that we were actually able to function out there, because we didn't have our harvester delivered in because it wasn't ready until July 10th. Was our first day. So within all that time, we were still able to get that amount of weight, which was awesome. We got all that weight as well with only one pontoon boat. We've been functioning with 2 as long as I've been on the team, which has been 5 years. But besides that, I was able to maintain our goal really well by making sure, because I'm the personal driver of that boat, so we're able to stay within the zone, make sure everything's getting done, make sure everything is great within our small unit. And we had minimal downtime this year compared to last year, which was able to really get us the weight that we were able to pull out of there. I believe that this season was successful just with our setbacks for the start of this year. which is really exciting for what we're gonna be doing for next year because we're able to start right on time on June 1st. We have plans on getting sandblasting done to the harvester. We're expecting to have it running for a good 3+ more years. And we're really hopeful and we're really positive. It's going quite well right now. Is there any questions that anyone has? I can answer you guys. Okay.
Hannah, in the past, we've had 2 pontoon boats out there
Correct.
collecting the fragmentations. This year, we only had, as you mentioned, only 1.
Mm-hmm.
What were any downsides to that? Any positives from it?
The only downside was that, we had to just communicate more with Charlie and just be like, hey, we need to go to the bathroom for 15 minutes or something like that. But besides that, everything else was able to be done, completed within a timely manner. And even with us being, the only thing with our start date this year being so late, it pushed us to work 6 days.
Mm-hmm.
So we did 5 days of cutting, and then we were actually out there on Saturday mornings collecting. People would be out there in their bathing suits getting ready for their Saturday barbecue or whatever, and we'd have a little pile, we'd get it. If they weren't out there, but we saw that there was stuff to get collected, we got it anyway, and we got the job done. So I think it was sufficient.
Was there more fragmentation or less fragmentation, just say, this year in comparison to the prior year?
Everything's always variable with that, unfortunately. Like, if we're cutting, it's a great time, and then the wind picks up, it gets dispersed. And that's why I like to have that late collection day. So if it does get dispersed, we find it, and we're able to get it. The stuff stays buoyant for up to 2 weeks, so as long as we go within the next day to that same area and we're checking, it's fine.
Okay. Any other questions?
Hannah, when do you need to, the time frame for getting the harvester in for the sandblasting? How much lead time do you need on that? So
I'm
we'll
going to
ready
be calling them soon. I just wanted to make sure everything's going well with number-wise.
Come to the budget.
Yes,
meeting
of course,
before-
I'm coming.
Don't spend the money until you have it.
No,
okay?
exactly, 100%, yes. So, but that's within the budget already, and something that's planned on that will definitely help the longevity of this machine.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you.
Of course.
That's a lot of weight considering.
3 people hauled out 50,000 pounds, and mind you, that's also plus. I have a personal compost pit at my home that before the harvester was launched, we were actually going out and still doing late collection days from boat shop and what have yous. And we were actually composting at my house.
Yeah.
So there's a plus to that as well. And that's just our team, that's not even personal lake owners. You know what I mean?
I think you guys, I wasn't out there, but, I mean, considering the late start,
Yeah,
I think that's a heck of a job you guys did.
I agree.
You're very conscientious.
Thank you.
Yep.
I think I had a good team this year too.
Yeah.
We were all for it. It was really nice. Guys, thank you very much. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Of course.
Okay, now we'll go on to the resolutions for this evening. Deborah, if you would start with resolution number 100.
Resolution to advertise for a clerk to supervisor. Whereas the clerk to supervisor Helen Deno resigned effective March 20th, 2020, and whereas the Fort Ann Town Board wishes to replace this position and authorize the town clerk to advertise in the Post-Star. And now therefore be it resolved that the Fort Ann Town Board authorizes the town supervisor to interview qualified applicants and to recommend a qualified applicant to the town board.
So we need a motion for this?
I'll move it.
I'll second it.
Any further discussion needed?
Tom, you sure you wanna do this?
It's been long enough.
Okay. Aye votes aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Any abstentions? Okay, number 101.
Resolution authorizing $2,400 purchase of a 8x14 shed. Whereas the Lake Hadlock project manager is requesting the purchase of an 8x14 shed for Hadlock Pond equipment storage, and whereas under consideration is the purchase of an 8x14 shed for Hadlock Pond equipment storage, and now therefore be it resolved, the town board of the town of Fort Ann hereby approves the purchase of an 8x14 shed for Hadlock equipment storage for $2,400, and be it further resolved, the supervisor is hereby authorized to execute any and all documents in accordance with the purchase of the 8x14 shed from Shed Stop, Route 4, Fort Ann, New York, 12827.
Okay, you need a motion for this?
I'll move it.
I'll second it.
Any further discussion?
Just, location of that supervisor, that's gonna be located where?
Behind the highway department, Paul's gonna, do whatever they need to do to get a level surface and put the stone down that's necessary. And the place down the street, the shed stop, they'll deliver it. So tomorrow I'll call him and tell him, if the board approves this, to arrange the delivery date with Paul. And Paul's got a couple of things going on right now, so I'm not sure, when he'll, what day, but that's what it will be. And Hannah, then we'll get everything out of,
My yard.
the storage thing, the
Yep.
storage place, and we'll get it over into there, and you can coordinate with Paul, and hopefully he'll help you, okay? And we won't charge you too much for moving, okay?
Okay, perfect.
All
Thank
right.
you very much.
Okay, and then we have one resolution that's not on the agenda this evening. Oh, hey, we didn't vote, okay. I vote aye.
Aye.
Any nays, any abstentions? Okay, next, we have a resolution that's not on the agenda this evening. It's to lower the speed limit on Tripoli Road to 45 miles per hour. So we need a motion for this.
I'll move it.
Second.
Any further discussion needed? I vote aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Any abstentions? Okay. Next is the public comments session of the meeting. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to be heard this evening? If you raise your hand, state your name, and,
Rebecca Parrott,
okay, Rebecca.
or you come up here and talk.
Sure.
I'm asking permission to hang this sign on the corner of Charles Street and Route 4. I already have a pole from the town. Coleman's gave me a sign, I was supposed to hang this. So I know you had to get permission now. Am I allowed to put it in that corner or from, like that, I don't know what that guy's name who bought that property, but in the middle.
Tell me again, we're at Charles Street and,
And Route 4, right here. Yeah, it's right on that corner.
Like 30 yards up.
Now, where the grassy area, is that where the state owns? Or is that town property between the sidewalk and his sidewalk? Is that the village?
it's the village,
Okay,
towns, we just pay.
okay. So who do I have to ask permission to?
Get a hold of the mayor.
Well, I did before, and he said I had to come to the town board meeting.
Good. Okay.
Becky, can I see your dates?
Yes.
1972, there's a very nice
Yeah.
sign, 2018.
Can we see the
So-
sign?
No, sorry, yeah. He told me to come to this meeting. So that's,
Who's the DOT? The mayor?
the mayor.
The mayor.
You have this.
Oh, thank you.
Then, if you give me a copy of it.
Thank you.
What I would suggest is you call him again,
Okay,
and if he tells you that, tell him to call me.
okay, to call you.
Then you get a hold of Reed down at Pleasant Falls, the DOT, right?
I've been there already, yes, I did, and he told me I had to come to the meeting as
But he
well.
was confused,
Okay, he was confused, okay.
because he thought where you wanted to put the sign was at 149 and Route 4.
I wanted to go up there, but it's just, I think it's too busy, and I don't think he'd allow that.
And where he thought you were gonna put the sign was, that's village and private property. right?
Okay.
So you got to get the persons, if you were gonna put it, if that's not the case. Where were we gonna put the second sign?
Well, I was gonna have like the two-sided, because I wanted to
Okay.
put it here,
Okay.
so yes. So my next step is to call Mayor Langley.
Yes.
Okay.
And because it's in the village,
Mhm.
they have to be the ones, because,
Okay,
clear out loud and clear. If you're not successful with them, go back to Reed and tell
Okay.
Reed specifically where you wanna have it, okay? And then have him, the mayor, call me, okay? So maybe I can have a little conversation with him,
okay, perfect.
all right?
That's what I will do. Thank you very much. Yeah.
State your name, please.
Jeff Backus. I wasn't aware that there was a Kingsbury meeting about the proposed access from the Kingsbury gravel pit next to Rocky Way where I live, for access into there, for proposed against Ellsworth. I just didn't know what was going on with that, or any word, what was happening with that access.
What I know is that last month at the Kingsbury Town Board meeting, I guess there was a discussion about Mr. Ellsworth using the entrance to the Kingsbury pit to get to his property. And they did not make a decision, was my understanding. Tomorrow morning, they will be seeing the supervisor of Kingsbury, hope to get educated more about what took place and why they make a decision. We, the town board of Fort Anne, we haven't any jurisdiction over making that decision for Kingsbury. They're gonna allow him, Reuben Ellsworth, to use that as an access point to that piece of property.
Was it the only proposed access to that?
I don't know, I was not at the meeting, but tomorrow I hope to be able to get some more information when I meet with Dana Hogan, the supervisor from Kingsbury.
Okay, 'cause I was just a little fearful for trying to use Rocky Way as an access because it hardly supports the 4 houses that are on it now. And whereas my house is almost directly on that road, I have a big problem with that.
The dump trucks coming in so close.
I didn't know if there was an access to Burke West, or I know there's a strip of land in Kingsbury from his property to the new property he bought, so that they can lease him that as well on the opposite side.
I mean, until we get some
Right.
more knowledge about really what it is that's gonna take place, there's not much we can say at this point in time, because we don't know
Right.
exactly, what they're gonna end up doing. I know that there was, I guess there was a pretty good crowd there at the meeting in Kingsbury, but I don't know anything other than that
Right.
at this point in time.
You would be told if they were gonna propose using our little road, right? They would
I
go
would,
through you, would they?
I would think so. It's,
Okay,
their entrance today is on Tripoli Road,
yeah.
right? It's not on Rocky Way, it's not on Berquist, it's on Tripoli.
Right,
Before they would go and have another entrance off of one of those roads, they would come to us, and we would open and say, hey, this is what we're thinking about.
Is Rocky Road, is that a private road? Is that private?
Private way,
Private
each
way,
person
yeah,
is responsible
Yeah,
for
okay.
their part
Right.
Yeah.
in front of their property, basically.
Yeah, understand.
So,
But they don't provide any services, they don't plow it, they don't.
nothing.
No,
no, I do
It
that.
looks like a four-wheel trail.
Yep, I've been up there, I know what you mean. I just wanted to-
It's not pretty. It's not pretty.
No, we.
So to support that kind of traffic, I mean, they'd have to do some massive reconstruction, which,
I don't know if there was.
which doesn't make me pleased either, because,
Yeah.
Rich,
Yes,
if you do hear something's going on, I mean, I know where you're still
I know
at
where
Home
you
Depot,
were.
right?
yeah,
Just let me know, and I'm down there enough. I'll pass it on to them, so they would know enough you'd have to attend, I'm assuming Kingsbury.
That's,
Yes.
we're worried that we're gonna miss the meeting and not be able to speak, because we're not reading the Post-Star every day,
well,
you
why
know?
don't you call the Kingsbury Town Hall and get the meeting dates from them?
Yeah,
They'll tell you when the next meeting is scheduled.
Yeah.
okay,
And make sure you're present.
Yeah.
okay.
thank you.
You're
Thank you
welcome,
very
you're
much.
more than welcome.
Thank you.
Just one more question. Had you heard any speculation or rumors about other entrances that, had anybody mentioned if they might be coming in from some other way? I know you asked the question, I just didn't know if you heard anything.
Yes, off Berkeley.
I thought, the person that actually told me the meeting was that when that land was for sale, he showed me some maps on it, that was in the paper and stuff, and I thought there was access to that from Berquist. But, that's not free either, but he's excavation, I don't know if he just doesn't wanna put the money into that, and he's taking the easier route. But there's also a strip of land, I guess, between his pit and the land, the 2 parcels he bought, that's a Kingsbury, so I don't know if they can, they can do something to access that and you wouldn't have any more traffic on Tripoli at all, going down there.
Okay, the best advice we can give you right now is call the Kingsbury Town Hall, find out when the
Yeah,
next
well,
meeting
thank you.
date is, and make sure you attend, okay?
Yeah.
And if I find out anything interesting, I will share it with any, and we'll go from there,
I
okay?
appreciate it, thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else in the audience that would like to be heard this evening?
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry,
This, somebody behind me? No, just.
did you have your hand up?
Oh, yeah, I did too, but you did too, right? Okay. I just wanna go back over what you said about Queensberry, their ordinance you're looking at. Is that a noise ordinance, how they're gonna enforce a noise ordinance in the town of Queensberry? Is that what you're gonna be looking into?
Well, it's not a, it's a noise ordinance in itself,
Mm-hmm.
but it has to do with limiting the number of people. This is for short-term rentals, people who rent their
So-
houses short-term only, not for the,
For the whole
Kingsbury
town?
already has a noise ordinance.
I don't know, cause like, all right, I'll give you an example. We had a funeral in Brown Cemetery, West Forty, okay? Okay, we could not even hear the preacher, it was so bad, Moose Hill Lock, these kids were screaming. We couldn't even give commands across, they couldn't hear, I mean, we were doing some, I'm not kidding, this was how bad, that's Bruce Mason, it was bad, we could not hear, we just couldn't hear to give out commands or do a proper military
That
funeral.
wouldn't, what Queensbury is looking at would not,
I know, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Without
Well, how do we address something like that, which is all the time over there as it is? I can imagine what the neighbors must go through if we have that when we do funerals. I don't know if there's anything we can even do with it in the town. I know noise ordinance is almost impossible to enforce. I just don't know how else to figure out how to, because the barriers, remember, he took out most of those barriers over there, so most of the trees, anything that would have blocked some of the sound is gone. So I don't know how else unless I make them play.
Short-term rentals?
Yes, yeah, there you go, short term, that's short term rentals, right, camp, camper.
they're not permanent homes though. Chad?
Chad Wilson. Just a question if maybe the board could elaborate and help me out on this one a little. It's been to my understanding that the town of Fort Anne and Hadlock Pond are two separate entities?
Mark?
No.
Go ahead.
They're two separate entities or no?
Yes.
They are. Because it appears that you're using Attorney Meyer and the town clerk to put the resolutions together, and the town, as it says here, now therefore be it resolved, the town board of the town of Fort Anne hereby approves the purchase. How does the town approve it if they're two separate entities?
That the board members of the town board are also the board members for the Hadlock Park District. Yes.
Wouldn't that be called a conflict of interest
I don't know about that one.
or ethics?
No, I don't believe it would be, Judge, and that's because of the fact that the way the law is set up is that the budget has to be prepared to come through the town. So we have to approve the budget that they have up there, that's by law. Okay, all right? So based on that fact, if we have to approve it, then we have fiduciary responsibility to see that it's executed.
So how does the town, Councilman Hall, keep the money separate from
Because they're
the?
separate
Two
accounts.
separate
accounts.
Separate
Okay.
budgets, separate accounts.
Because on average, it appears that you're merging the two together
Let me be
when you have a
let
meeting.
me be very clear to you.
Go ahead.
Not one penny that is spent on Hadlock goes to the general account. It goes, anything that, all the expenses for Hadlock, paid out of the Hadlock Park District, right by the Hadlock Park District residents.
So any time that the town clerk spends on that would be separated out?
She does business for both.
The question was, is any of the time that Barb does separately for that is a different time?
No,
It's not?
no.
What about Attorney Meyer?
We have Hadlock bills that come in, and they're,
So they are
they
separate?
go to the,
Okay, thank you.
anybody else that would like to be heard this evening? Since I see no other hands up, we need a motion to adjourn the meeting at 6:43 p.m.
Second.